I have been on a weight loss journey for decades. I have been overweight since I was in kindergarten, and I finally reached my goal weight last March. However, I reached it the unhealthy way. I didn't reach it with food and activity. I had some extra help. And despite getting to my goal weight, despite losing between 150 and 160 pounds, I have never felt optimal. What was the one thing that I haven't addressed in the decades that I've been yo-yo dieting and weightlifting and exercising? What's the one thing that I have not addressed? It's my mind. I have been stressed out since I can remember. And I don't want to go into my whole history, but mental health has been one thing I haven't completely focused on. It's been go, go, go. And I've had a great, fun life. I've done a lot of fun things, but I started babysitting when I believe I was about 9 years old. I started working at a pewter smith when I was 14 years old. I babysat during that time. I started Walgreens at age 15, and I have been working and going to school and having fun pretty much my whole life. It's been just nonstop. I've never slowed down. I've never given my body a break. So I have exactly 5 days until I get to give my body and my mind a break. So I have decided to come up with a challenge. I am very competitive in nature, and I have created a checklist so that I can keep myself accountable. And I like lists in general. I like being able to check things off as I complete them. And now that I will have a lot of time off, I am cutting back with work to only Tuesdays, which will switch to Wednesdays in June. But, anyways, I'm going to be working at a maximum 6 days a month, 1 day a week, plus a second day, maybe once or twice a month. That's going to leave me with a lot of time to focus on me and my mind. So I did reach my goal weight last March. Like I said, not the healthy way. And I've been struggling ever since. I haven't felt well. I have gained quite a bit of weight in the past 4 months that I went back to work double full time. I did take a couple months off last fall, which was completely blissful, and I was able to maintain my low weight. I was about 150 pounds. I felt really comfortable in my skin at that size. I've gained some weight since then. My face is puffier, my gut is larger. I don't want to have to suck in my stomach when I take pictures. I want to just be comfortable and happy with me. Where did this weight come from? I want to say it's stress related. So the challenge is working on my mind and my insides instead of focusing on the weight. I know that the weight will come off once I implement these healthy daily activities. Things that should be the norm for us, but so many of us get busy and just forget to slow down. We forget to smell the roses. One thing that I learned that is so important is to take a walk. It can even be a 10-minute walk after you eat because it helps with the blood sugar regulation. Even when I was a carnivore, I didn't feel completely regulated. And I know I wasn't eating sugar, no processed food, no carbs at that time. I am intaking some carbs for fertility, for my thyroid. My thyroid needs some help. So I am going to be intaking a minimum, probably about 30 grams. I don't need much. It's shocking how much, well, I don't want to get into the science of it because everyone is very unique. Everyone has different needs for their bodies. I am not telling you what to eat, except avoid the processed foods and the white refined sugar. It's not good for us. So, anyways, I'm going off on all these tangents. So, this challenge for me is starting Monday, March 30th. And in this challenge, I'm starting a step bet. So, the challenge for me, I'm going to be doing this for 45 days. We have a beautiful spring typically here in Northern Virginia. So, I feel okay with this step bet challenge and getting outside and walking. Summer months, not so much. It just gets too brutally hot for me. And then I'm going to want to do my activities indoor. I did get my Peloton app back up. Anyways, I want to be outside during the spring. So my challenge involves the step bet challenge, and that's going to vary from person to person based on how many steps you get per day. It takes that average, gives you a little boost to get you a little more active. Let's see. And then walking after each meal or 2 times a day, 5 to 10 minutes minimum. So get your body moving after you eat. I'm hoping that this will help my heart rate in general. My heart rate has been averaging pretty high lately. I've been having some heart troubles since I have been working way too much. So I want to get my resting heart rate down. So walking after each meal, limiting processed foods, and eating out to 1 meal a week. I know this is going to be hard for a lot of people, but when you meal prep, and I can give some suggestions on that, I meal prep almost every Sunday. I make breakfast casseroles, I make lunch casseroles, I meal prep some of my burger patties for lunches. Now, with me cutting back with work, that's going to be a lot easier. So, if you want any help with that, if you do want to do this challenge with me, just let me know and I can give you some suggestions. I've been meal prepping for ages. Build meals around protein and whole foods, which means obviously getting rid of the processed foods. So, building meals around protein, you are going to be fuller, faster, and longer. So, you're going to be satiated longer, and that will help with the snacking. Guys, I have been snacking. Oh, it's been so bad with this stress and with my cortisol doing whatever the heck it's doing. I'm just nonstop munching. And yes, that's probably added the weight. I'm sure of it. I have been snacking on figs and whole foods, definitely nothing processed. That is one good thing I have done. I don't eat processed food. So patting myself on the back for that. Despite what I've been going through, I haven't binged, ate improper foods. Next, get morning sun daily. So when I've been working like I have been, guys, I can go 4 days without seeing the sun. The headaches have been starting. I used to not get headaches prior to November. I think it had been years since I had gotten a really, really bad headache, maybe one off, and that was when I was dehydrated. But headaches aren't the norm for me. So I know that something is really off when I'm getting these daily headaches around the same time, early afternoon, because I was not seeing the sun. I would go to work in the dark, I would work in the dark, and then I would drive home and the sun would be setting. And it's dark by the time I get home. So my circadian rhythm, I don't even want to think what's going on with that right now, but I know I can fix it. I know I can change it. This was a big one. No phone for the first 30 minutes after waking. How many of us go to our phone and check out our notifications? And if you're like me, I have to get rid of the notifications. They drive me bonkers. So, yeah, sometimes I will doom scroll first thing when I wake up. It stresses me out, especially when I see some of the headlines of things that are going on around the world. Not that I read the news at all. I will see some controversial things posted in some of my groups, and that gets the wheels spinning I've been waking up at 4 for years. So at 4 a.m., the stress is already starting. That's ridiculous to start my day that way. So no phone first 30 minutes after waking. Next, barefoot outside daily for some grounding, fix the hormones, calm our bodies. Hopefully you have some grass outside and you can step outside at first thing, get some morning sunlight, listen to the birds, and just take some deep breaths. One fulfilling activity daily, and that can be very short. Is that cooking for you? Is that reading? Is that a hobby? I know that's a lot to do every day, but it's about being purposeful with our lives and our days. So, one little thing, I've got to figure that out for me. This also coincides with the next one, and maybe you can combine these two. I haven't figured this out yet. I do, so fulfilling for me as well is weed pulling. So I have to tackle my yard this year. It's been years since I've really taken on this massive landscaping that I have in my yard. I'm very grateful for it. However, it has tripled in size since we moved into this house 7 years ago. So for me, fulfillment is getting outside and pulling weeds, even if it's just for 30 minutes. I get my hands in that dirt and it just changes me. Now, when it's a rainy day, that's a problem. So I have to find something out, figure something else out. Maybe it's cleaning my floors. I know that's taking care of the house. That can be fulfilling because you're doing something for your home that you live in. I'm going to call that as fulfilling. So, whatever that looks like to you, maybe you crochet. Gosh, there's so much I want to get into. Diamond art is something I have that I want to get into, but that leads into the final challenge piece. One nervous system downshift daily for 10 minutes. So this is not starting your day. Of course, you could start your day with this downshift, easing into your day, but the key is to finish your day with this downshift. So sitting outside, tea without phone. I've been on a tea kick lately. Oh my goodness, I love it. Stretching, deep breathing, prayer, journaling, anything like that for just 10 minutes. I can envision sitting outside, watching the sun go down with a cup of herbal tea, grounding, getting my feet in the grass. 10 minutes, that's it. But that's just a little something that we can give to ourselves, especially if you add in some prayer, meditation, and just end your day on a high note. So, what are my goals with this challenge? Would I love to get this extra weight off? Yes. But my goal is health, optimal health. I want to feel good. I want to feel energized. And yes, I'm energized right now because I just had a Nora date all by myself in DC this morning. And it was all focused around flowers. And it was 65 degrees and sunny. And I walked 6 miles downtown DC and just I did something for me and it felt so good. I want to have this high all day, every day. I don't want to have these afternoon crashes anymore. I don't want to have these carb craving crashes around 1 to 3 p.m. That's not normal. I want to help my digestion. And I know that's really stress related. Having a BM regularly without all this extra help. Granted, I've got surgeries that I have to work against, but I know that reducing the stress, walking, getting our bodies moving, that can help my digestion. What else? Hormones. I haven't been talking about fertility lately, but it is still my dream to become a mom, which is one of the main reasons I am ending one of these contracts and ultimately ending my cardiac sonography career. I am planning on ending it this year. I'm not going to say when, but we have an end date in mind. I have a lot of things going on in the background that are fulfilling for me. I have a future that I'm looking forward to, and I know I can fix my hormones by reducing this stress because this is the last puzzle piece. Nutrients, absorption, stress, finding purpose in life, happiness, joy. That is what this challenge is about. So really slowing down in life, what does that look like? And I know I am very blessed to be able to do this. My health has been struggling this year, some heart troubles. That is not really new to me, but it has been getting slightly worse. And I don't want to end up on my bed getting an ultrasound of my heart done professionally. I want to avoid that. And I know that I was on the track to becoming a cardiac patient. Now's the time to reverse that. I want to live as long as healthy as possible and just enjoy life and become a mom. So this is the last puzzle piece. I am praying that this challenge and this 45-day spring reset is the ticket to that. I will be tracking my energy. I'm going to be writing notes in a journal. Maybe that's part of my nervous system downshift, really thinking about what I did throughout the day, what made me feel better, what made me not feel as good. I'm going to be tracking my sleep, of course. I do track my hormones every month, and I am excited to see how that changes. I have been noticing some negative side effects with my cycle the more stress I have, the shorter my cycles become. I am not admitting to this perimenopause stuff whatsoever because I believe that a lot of that is just stress. That's my own personal opinion. But I noticed that when I am not as stressed, my cycles are a lot better. So I'll be tracking that. I'll be tracking my energy. Let's see. I also meant to add in strength training. I will be doing that as well. I'm going to be getting back into the gym. So that's another thing I need to add to this. I'm adjusting as I go on. I had written all of this down. So strength training 2 to 3 times a week. It can be something as simple as body weight squats, light dumbbells, yard work even counts if it's substantial, if you go at it like I do. So that's another thing I wanted to add on there. It's a lot. There is a lot on my challenge list. Now, I am not going to be, look at this little boy. He's so happy I'm home finally. I am not going to be perfect every day. There are things that I will be checking off, especially the walking. I'm going to be easing into the lifting because my body is just hurting. It is tired right now, and I don't want to stress myself out more. This is all about slowing down. However, I know that resistance strength training is key to longevity and key to keeping our bodies in shape and as healthy as possible. So I will be working into that. The step bet, because I'm spending money on that, it will get done. And I know I'm going to pick one that we do have one day off, and I will share this in the notes, where we have one day off, and then I think it's 3 days, it's lighter walking, and then 2 days, it's heavier walking, so at least 2 walks a day. But if you want to join, awesome. I will include the link to that step bet. But it's just about getting our bodies moving, slowing our minds down more, being purposeful. So I would love for you to join me on this challenge. I know I've been all over the place on this, but if you have any questions, please reach out. I will be, I'm going to weigh myself on day one. And then I'm avoiding the scale going forward because, like I said, I don't want this to be about weight loss. I want this to be about mental health and just happiness. So I will be probably measuring myself, weighing myself day one, and then I'll do that again on day 45 and not obsess over it. Let's see, anything else? If you have any questions, let me know. Like I said, this is not about being perfect. It is about being consistent and creating new healthy habits. So let me know if you want to join. I will send you all the info and I will be sharing this all over social media. I hope you join me on this challenge, even if it's for half of them, because I know it's a lot. But give it a try. Let me know what you think. If you want me to add anything, what you don't like to this. I am starting this in 8 days, pretty much a week by the time I release this. And I'm excited for purpose, happiness, joy, de-stressing, calming down, slowing down, being home with these little poops more. So, all righty. Let me know what you think in the comments and be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Thanks, guys.